Fusion here, back with another video. Today, I wanted to talk about the Nelk Boys. So, okay. These past few days, I have been talking about a few streamers. I don't know, they just happen to be in the media talking about stuff that I'm interested in. Yesterday, I did talk about a little bit of XQC. Excuse me. And his take on lyrics. I love talking about hip hop, so that's something that I felt like I wanted to address. Neon and Aiden Ross had a little situation. I did not talk about the Neon and Aiden Ross beef with Kai. You know, this is not my usual type of thing. Like, I do not care about these streamers. I do not care about any of this other stuff. But they did address some stuff that I was interested in. Whatever. That being said, I would feel like an icky human being if I did not address this since I have been addressing all of the previous stuff. I felt like it was a duty for myself. We're not gonna watch the interview. We're not gonna watch the podcast. I'm just going to talk about a few things. We're going to look at the comments. And I have who Benjamin Netanyahu is queued up also. So just in case you don't know who that is, we can talk about that as well. But the Full Sin podcast, the NelkBoys, they're just some pranksters that happen to get some influence. And they are interviewing anyone and everyone. That sentiment is a good sentiment. It makes sense. If you want to get all perspectives, understand what's going on, I get that. I don't think anybody is saying that's a horrible thing. What people are saying, though, is it's horrible for the Nelk Boys to do an interview with Benjamin Netanyahu, who is the Prime Minister of Israel. For those of you who don't know what's going on, there is a genocide going on. Palestinians are losing their lives, not getting fed, getting sick, just dying, just all over the fucking place. Nobody cares. Nobody's doing anything to try to fix it. This dude is... Look at him. He looks like a fucking supervillain. Like, you see that haircut? That's a haircut of a supervillain. Come on, dude. He's a piece of shit. We all know this. Everybody is seeing what's going on. If you are actively not seeing what's going on, you have your blinders on. And it's sort of sad. But that's who this is. For those of you who don't know. Now, the issue arises when you have somebody like this on your platform and you know you don't have any educational background on asking the questions that need to be asked. Netanyahu used you as a platform for the red pill, quote unquote, manosphere, quote unquote, young conservative white men. That is what this is being used for. This is what the Nelk Boys are. They are a entertainment podcast, an entertainment YouTube channel. Nothing they say should be taken serious. Everybody should know this by now. But what they are doing is bringing up someone who is a very serious figure, an important figure, a person who is leading and guiding a genocide. And you're not asking any of the hard-hitting questions. You're not asking about food aid. You're not asking about anything. You're not asking. Why do you have him up here except for the views or except for pushing a narrative? And you gotta, I don't know, man. You gotta know your lane. You got to know exactly what type of YouTube channel, what type of podcast that you are, and stick with that. And don't go beyond that lane, especially if you know you do not have the education to push on this topic. They have said this in a couple of clips that they have been trying to use for damage control. I would not be surprised if they turn off the comments for this video at some point. They're going to keep it up because they know they're going to get a check from it. And that's how you know what type of people that we're dealing with. But it's just crazy to see, man. Like, I talked about XQC yesterday, about him not knowing hip hop, him not being educated on hip hop. It was in jest, but still, you know, like, if you don't know hip hop, then it's fair to say, you know, that you shouldn't really be commenting on what hip hop is. You should have some sort of education on it, like go back to it, really do your research. This is a completely different instance of what XQC did. All in all, it was a small piece of the NelkBoys took that small piece of not being educated and pushed it on a place where you have to be educated in for you to have this conversation. You have to have some sort of thought process for you to be talking to him. The producers, his agent, whoever the fuck set this up, needs to be called to attention too. Because what are you pushing? Let's go ahead and look at some of these comments just real quick. This is not going to be a long video. Here's a couple of them. I miss when YouTube used to show the dislikes. This was a pitch to Netanyahu like this. Don't worry, these guys are idiots. You can use their platform to push whatever propaganda you want, and they won't push back on anything. They only push back on Netanyahu liking Burger King more than McDonald's. Personally, I don't think Burger King is that bad. But I don't think we got to be talking about this while this guy is a mass murderer who is looking to complete a genocide. He's looking to wipe out a whole people. And I bet you next week they're gonna have on fucking I don't know, Aiden Ross. Like, that's what they're gonna do. That's what they do. Unsubscribe. The comments brought me to tears. Humanity. Okay. Here's another one. You guys didn't question him once. This is crazy. Zero pushback. You literally just let a war criminal talk free for an hour to millions of fans. Just horrible, horrible. You guys are truly pieces of shit. That's what I want to say. Again, know your personnel. You know what your age group is for your fans. You know the demographic of your fans. You know exactly what you're pushing and who you're pushing to. We as YouTubers have that information. Even as a small creator like myself, we have that information. So you gotta be careful what you're pushing. You're a prank channel turned podcasters who decided to get a war criminal piece of shit up on there. Do they understand that? I wonder what their fans think. What their true NelkBoy fans who have NelkBoy merch, I wonder what them fuckboys think. I really do. Reputation takes years to build and just seconds to ruin. Yes, this is what selling your soul looks like, ladies and gentlemen. That is correct. That is correct. They saw an opportunity for a huge check. They saw an opportunity to get in the political hemisphere, which they've already been introduced because of Donald Trump's goofy ass. So they already were in this. Now they wanted to take a bigger leap, not knowing what they're actually stepping into. They're going to lose it all at some point. This seems to be like that point. They have a decision to make now. The Nelk Boys have a decision to make on what type of content they will make going forward and how they're going to address this situation. Comments are all on the same page. Oops, y'all see my stuff. Israel are so desperate for positive PR that they send their prime minister to a podcast with a bunch of pranksters. That is correct. Asking him if he prefers Burger King or McDonald's while people are starving. This is insane. Yeah, man, this is a Black Mirror episode if I didn't know one. That's all I got for you guys today. Just so everybody is clear, just so I don't know if it wasn't clear in this video, I support Palestine. I'm against all racism, all sexism, all homophobia. I am pro LGBTQ+. I do not fuck with pedophiles. I do not fuck with rapists. I do not fuck with molesters. I do not fuck with sexual harassers. If this is who you like, if those are the people who you rock with, you can stay subscribed, but just know I'm going to be talking about those people like they're pieces of shit. Like they are. I still think Neon should have got extra for what he did. So I'm just drawing the line in the sand now. Because I feel like this Nelk Boy situation, this Benjamin Netanyahu situation is going to grow even more. And I wouldn't be surprised if more prime ministers and more presidents, because that's what's happening. Donald Trump won the presidency off of podcasting, off of going to podcasts. So now you have war criminals, prime ministers. Soon we might have some kings and queens on podcasts, on the Nelk Boys, getting easy questions, taking the easy way out. PR. Come on, dog. This is what content creating has become. Like, comment, subscribe.